Yo, what's good, YouTube? Before I get started with the video, I just want to give some credentials. I'm Vlad. I'm a Vlad OTP, been OTPing him for 2 years. Peak Grandmaster, 3 wins away from Chow. This split, sore subject. I know what the I'm talking about for the most part, even if I like make dumbass TikToks and shit, but yeah. What's up? Enjoy the video. Alright, so for now, we're going to get started with the build. So every single game, you're going to be rushing Lucidity Boots, and you're going to be building into Riftmaker. Just like with a normal Vlad build, you're going to be looking to get Dark Seal, just because the champ snowballs so well, and he benefits from the extra AP, obviously. But this will be your core item and your core boots. As far as the build path for it goes, in laning phase, I would opt to rush Ionian boots. Look for either Mask if you have the gold for it, or just buy Codex. Either or is fine, it doesn't really matter that much in my opinion. If you're in a tankier matchup, Haunting Guys will probably suit you better. If you're against a Bruiser or you're just taking heavier trades, then Codex will be better, just because of the CDR. But yeah, once you've completed Riftmaker, first item, you are either going to be looking for Abyssal Mask, or you're going to be looking for Unending Despair. Building these two items depends a lot on the enemy team comp and the game state. So let's say there is a 20-0 rumble on the enemy team by 10 minutes. You're probably going to want to build Abyssal Mask instead of Unending Despair. But if the enemy team is 4 AD, obviously you're going to want to build Unending Despair. Usually if you just hold tab, you'll be able to assess the game state and see which one you want to build. But just as a basic outline, if you're against an AD opponent, Unending Despair is probably what you're going to want to go. And if you're against an AP opponent, then Abyssal Mask will probably be better. Now, third item, I just like to build whatever you didn't build before. So if you built Abyssal Mask second, you're going to look to build an Unending Despair third. And if you build Unending Despair second, then look to build Abyssal Mask third. Now let's go on to why these items work. Unending Despair actually goes through Vlad's W, so while you're in pool, you're going to be receiving healing from this. Now obviously you're not going to be in pool for like 5 seconds, but if you use pool correctly in the middle of a fight, and you'll be able to get around 2 to 3 Unending Despair procs off, which of course will be game changing. For Abyssal Mask, the stats, MR, it's whatever, but what you're really going it for is the unmake, the passive, reduce nearby enemy champions magic resist by 30%. Now this pretty much is your void staff for this build. Okay, so before Abyssal Mask, an EW will do 671 damage, and then with Abyssal Mask, that's 796. And obviously this isn't like the greatest amount, void staff would do more damage, but the point of this build isn't to just one-shot squishies. It's to be able to soak up pressure from the back line and the front line and just be an absolute nuisance, just a healing drain tank machine. Assuming you have these 3 core items, building after this is pretty situational. For tank items that you can build on Vlad, I would say they can be Spirit Visage, Randuin's, maybe Force of Nature. For example, if you're against like an Aurelia or Belveth, then maybe Bramble Vest would be good. In an ideal world, you could be able to build Jack Show. The problem with this is the components for this item are absolute dog shit. Like, let's just say you buy a Giant's Belt, you have to wait for 2,300 extra gold just to be able to buy an item. So the component for this is absolute dog shit. I'll say for Spirit Visage, for example, you can buy Spectre Scowl. It's only 1,400 to complete the item. After you build these 3 core items, you don't always have to go tank. If you're finding that you're already tanky enough and you're not really taking damage in any team fights, then I think Leandri's 4th or 5th is a good item. And then obviously if you're like full stack Dark Seal, you're not going to die anymore, then Magi's is a good buy. Just to sum it up, you're going to rush Ionian Boots with Riftmaker, and you're going to go Abyssal Mask or Unending Despair second, and then third item, you're going to go the opposite of what you didn't build. So if you build Unending Despair second, you're going to build Abyssal Mask third, and vice versa. Usually, I would say you can just hold tab and you can figure out what to build. But yeah, let's get into the runes. You're going to be taking the same rune page every single game. You're going to go Grasp of the Undying, Demolish, Conditioning, Overgrowth, Transcendence, and Gathering Storm. Shards, you're going to go Ability Haste, and then double health scaling. Now, let's go over a basic game plan of what you want to try to accomplish with Tank Vlad, how you want to play mid, how you want to play early, mid, late game. And shit happens. Skirmishes are going to happen. Fights are going to happen. Games are they're going to go south, right? Stuff is not going to go exactly as you want it to. But just as a general plan, for early game, you want to look for Grasp stacks. You want to wait for your Condition, your Overgrowth. You want to wait for Gathering Storm. You just want to scale. You want to minimize deaths. Try your best to get 10 CS a minute. Try to get high CS. Try to get platings if you can. Stay in XP range. You just want to minimize losses and maximize gains. This playstyle isn't meant for solo kills. It's not meant for flashy plays. You were meant to play like a soy boy, sit in lane, farm 10 cents a minute, and scale. Now, mid game, this is where you start powering up. You're still going to want to keep farming, but by this time you'll have 2 or 3 items. You can look to fight 1v1. You can actually win surprisingly amounts of 1v1s depending on the items you have and who you're against. You want to fight around objectives. You want to fight around your team. You play around your jungle. But you also just want to stay silent and keep farming. Once you get to late game, so much dopamine. Now late game, you are the most fed champion in the game, 100%. As long as you're not 0-10, you have above 8 CS a minute, you are easily the strongest champion in the game by 30 minutes. Fight around objectives, wait for your ghost, your flash, and absolutely demolish everybody. Alright guys, that's it for the YouTube video. I would play this while you can. It's 100% gonna get hard nerfed in the next few weeks. But with that being said, I'm live every day on Twitch. If you want to see me play the tank Vlad build or just ask questions in general. I'm guessing the tank build's gonna change. I'm guessing I'm gonna find newer things, better builds. So if you guys want to keep updated on that, just make sure to drop by my Twitch to see what I'm building, ask questions and stuff. Feel free. Subscribe.